Eventually, as a landlord, you're going to deal with evictions. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the eviction process and show you guys some footage on how your house could look potentially after an eviction. So stay tuned. Bosses. Unfortunately, I just had to put somebody out. The tenant wasn't paying rent, so I had to evict them, unfortunately. Stay tuned through this whole video, because at the end of the video, I'm going to show you how she left the house, and she left this house in a crazy condition. But you going to want to see this. It's crazy how she left this house, man. But she didn't pay rent, and I had to evict her. Unfortunately, of course, nobody wants to ever put anybody out, and anyway, you would want your tenants to pay you on time anyway. But she's been with me for a while, didn't pay rent, so I had to put her out. So I'm going to walk you guys through the process. It's basically a 5-step process in Baltimore City to put somebody out. Step 1, you file the FTPR, or the failure to pay rent. That's basically you file with the court system that this lady didn't pay me my rent money, and I want to do something about it legally. Lady or gentleman didn't pay me my rent money. I want to do something about it legally. Then after that, you get the court date and you go to court. And if they don't have the money to basically pay you, the court will say, okay, you now have this judgment against you. And then 4 days after that, you can move on to step 3 and file the warrant of restitution. Then after you do that, you're going to schedule with the sheriff's office. That's step 4. This is the part of the process that can take a lot of idle time doing this. So this whole process altogether is going to take, like, I want to say like 60 days. You want to budget 60 days. So this is why it's important to screen tenants up front, because it takes 60 days to put somebody out. That's 60 days plus if they didn't pay their rent, because they didn't pay their rent. That's why you're taking them to rent court to put them out. So 3 months basically of no rent, plus you have to fix the property back up, so that's another month. So you can go like 4 months with no rent if you don't screen your tenants properly and you don't jump on your tenants when they don't pay their rent on time. You just kind of gotta be the bad guy. You gotta be the villain. Like on the Baltimore City on the 6th, you gotta go down there and file that paperwork on them, because if you let it get to the 15th, you let it get to the 28th of the month, then it becomes an issue. Unless, of course, you have a good relationship with the tenant, and this is a rare occurrence. But I would say don't let it become a pattern when the tenants, with them paying late and that kind of stuff, because it can really set you back if things do go awry. Because the tenant might plan on paying you back, but things come up, man. So after you file that, I would say call into the sheriff's office like when they open up, like 8:30. Like after 9:30 is gonna be hard to really get there and schedule it, that kind of stuff. So I say call them when they open up. The time of making this video is like 8:30. I believe the time is that they open up, but like the first hour is when you can really get stuff moving. So I would call within the first hour. And the last step is actually going there for the eviction. When you go there for the eviction, the tenant could contest the eviction. The tenant could show up with the money, and you could put off the eviction. And the tenant could like just disappear because they know they're getting evicted. They could just move on with their life, move on with their belongings type stuff. So those are like the 3 things that could happen with kicking somebody out. And then the sheriff will be there, and then you could change the locks and all that kind of stuff and take back possession of the property. So it's a 5-step process. Not that much to it. It just takes a long time, 60 days, like I said. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to screen our tenants well, and we're going to file that paperwork on the 6th of the month, and you just run this thing like a well-oiled machine, so we can keep good tenants in and get the bad ones out as fast as we can, because time is money in our case, because every month we don't have somebody in there, we're losing money. And switching tenants out also causes wear and tear on the property, and you have to do tenant turnover. So it costs you money in 2 different ways, plus a couple more if you're not going down to the court and that kind of stuff. So we want to, spend a little bit more time on the front end and have to spend less time, less headaches on the back end. So these are a couple tips I'm going to give you for when you had to do an eviction. BG&E, you want to call them right away, because this is something I just learned on this eviction I just did. BG&E had, I don't know what to call it, but like some type of energy fraud thing that they believe that she was doing. And if I had waited to call BG&E, I probably some would have got roped in. But as soon as the eviction date happened, I called BG&E and told them what was going on. It was like some energy fraud type thing. And if you let that kind of stuff linger and don't jump on it, it could be a situation where you might be caught up in it because now you were trying to get over on that tenant paying the BG&E bill, especially if the tenant just goes off in the middle of the night and they didn't call to put the power in your name. Even though you could save a couple dollars, it's not worth it. It's unethical, number one, and number two, it can actually get you involved in something that you don't want anything to deal with. So you might think you're getting back on the tenant by not switching the BG&E over right away. Don't do that kind of stuff because it can get you into trouble. Number two, another little tip I would give for you guys is to really have everybody ready to go in the property before the eviction date. So you want to have the person who's going to clean up, you want to have the person who's going to do the tenant turnover, you want to have the person who's going to do X, Y, and Z, because I'm about to show you how this property looks now. It looks real crazy, as you guys see. Look how she left this place, man. This place is, man, some people, this is why you can't eat at everybody's house, man, because you don't know how they living. This is real crazy, and this is the type of stuff you got to deal with. And you don't want to get behind the gun because you see all this stuff had to get cleaned out. One of the estimates I got was $950. That's too high. And the other guy came and gave me an estimate to take all this stuff out for $550. So you want to have people who can jump on this stuff right away, so that way you're not losing time, losing money, even more money than you already lost. So you want to have your crew ready to go. Because look at this place, man. It's crazy, isn't it? But you got to charge it to the game, man. This is how we live. We're landlords, we're bosses. We just deal with this kind of stuff. We take it in stride. If it was easy, everybody would do it, and it's not easy, and that's why there's money in it. So this isn't the sexy stuff. This isn't the HGTV stuff. This is real landlording. You know, I give it to you guys. How I want somebody to break it down to me, show me the bad, and then show me the good, so I can know if the good is worth the bad. So you guys are seeing one of the, I don't want to say worst case scenario, but a pretty bad scenario how a tenant could leave your house if the tenant doesn't take care of it and that kind of stuff. So that's what I wanted to show you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And then keep in mind to make sure you do your quarterly inspections. I had this tenant for a while. I fell off of my quarterly inspections, and that's how the house ended up looking like that. So to stop from them type of things, stay on top of your quarterly inspections. That's a lesson, and learn from my pain, because you don't want to receive a house that looks like this. And I just want to say more money in 2020 to everybody, and thanks for watching this video, man. I really appreciate anybody who takes the time to watch any of my content. I'm working on getting a lot better videos, so just ride with me through this wave as I figure out my equipment and that kind of stuff, and my video quality will get a lot better for you guys. And I appreciate everyone who watches the channel. Thank you, bosses. This is Nick signing out, and we're going to get more money in 2020.